Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Super happy to see you here. NIO is one of my favorite EV stocks out there. And if you want to know the top 5 reasons why I love this stock so much, then you've come to the right place today. So let's jump right into it. So the number one reason why I love NIO so much and I'm so bullish on NIO is because of the growth that they're experiencing and the market that they're actually in. In their most recent quarter, they have delivered over 31,000 cars, and that's an increase of 29% year over year. We can see that down here. They sold last year in the same quarter 24,000 cars, and this year in the same quarter again, they sold 31,000 cars. So they really experienced nice growth, and they're back to growing from that little stalling out that they had over the last few quarters. Most of that growth is coming from China as China is slowly opening back up. Sales are increasing again of most of their consumer and discretionary goods. So that's definitely good to see. But they're also increasing sales in Europe, which I also enjoy to see. So there is a little bit of diversification going on. By selling those 31,000 cars, they achieved a total revenue of roughly 1.8 billion US dollars, which is a substantial revenue for such a young company. And being a dominant player in China will definitely give a leg up for NIO because over half of the global market share of EVs are currently transacted in China. So being in that fast growing market is a good sign. The second reason why I love NIO so much is because of their battery as a service subscription model, which allows you to change or swap the battery as you need. This, I believe, is a real benefit of buying a NIO car over any other EV cars at the moment. So this is real IP that NIO is owning, and I think they can really build something great out of that. Their goal is for 2025 to have over 4,000 battery swapping stations worldwide, with 1,000 of them based outside of China. So 3,000 inside China and 1,000 outside China. If they can achieve that goal, I think that battery swapping infrastructure will be very sufficient. In most of the cities in China, they will have different stations, and in the biggest cities, probably abroad, they will also have a lot of those stations. And I think as NIO owners, this is going to be really good. The third reason why NIO is an absolute killer is their autonomous driving. So throughout the board, people have been testing NIOs versus Teslas in China, and it has been proven that NIO actually performs much better in the autonomous driving in China than the Tesla does. And mainly that's because NIO is using LiDAR technology already in all of their cars for their autonomous driving. So in each car, they actually have up to 33 units of cameras or LiDAR sensors that create up to 8 gigabytes of data per second, which is ridiculous. It's a lot of data that they're collecting every single second, and that's being processed by NVIDIA chips and then fed into the autonomous driving system. This kind of technology cannot be easily copied or replaced by any competitor, so therefore I think they do have a competitive advantage in the market at the moment. The fourth reason why I love NIO as an investment is their cars and the pricing of those cars. So have a look at this one. This one is the ES8, and the ES8 is actively competing with the Tesla Model X. Now I have to be honest, the performance of the Model X from Tesla is better in most areas than the NIO ES8. So as example, if we look at acceleration, the Tesla is a little bit faster. Also if we look into the range, the Tesla can drive further, and also maximum speed, a Tesla can drive faster, right? But I think the gap in price more than levels that out. I give you an example. The Tesla Model X at the moment in China costs roughly 840,000 yuan, which equals to roughly 128,000 US dollars, which in China is really expensive. It's considered an expensive car, a luxury car. The NIO ES8, on the other hand, even though the performance of course is a little bit worse, costs roughly around 450,000 yuan, which equals roughly 68 to 69,000 US dollars. So you can buy a NIO ES8 for roughly half the price of a Tesla Model X. And I think for most people in China, they will choose to buy a NIO because the performance is a little bit worse, but it's not that bad, right? It's not that much worse. The performance is still fantastic. Plus you get the battery swapping, plus it's a local producer, and the price is half. So for that, I think NIO really has an advantage in that growing Chinese market. By the way, if you liked the video so far, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you think NIO is a good investment. And my fifth and last reason why I love NIO so much is because of the value it offers on the stock market at the moment. So they're valued at roughly 18 billion US dollars and they're delivering 120,000 cars for 2022, roughly. If we compare that as example with Rivian, which is also worth 18 billion US dollars, they're only delivering 6 or 7,000 cars per quarter. So let's say 24, 25,000 cars per year. Additionally to that, NIO also gets all that benefit of being in the Chinese market and that crazy growth that the Chinese EV market at the moment is experiencing. Whereas Rivian, as example, is totally out of that. Lucid is not in that market. So there's only Polestar, NIO, and some other very, very good other Chinese manufacturers, of course, and Tesla. But they're able to capture a very good market share in China because of their technology. So for me, I believe NIO is a no-brainer. It's a fantastic company. If you do so too, then like the video, subscribe, and see you next time.